안녕하세요. I'm Morning and welcome to Unit 1. Today we're going to learn how to ask for what you need on an airplane in Korean. Imagine that you're on a flight to Korea. You need some water, an extra blanket, or maybe a pen. How can you ask the flight attendant politely and naturally? In this lesson, you'll learn two useful sentence patterns that you can use right away. Our main sentence today is 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? It means, excuse me, can I get some water please? By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to ask for what you need politely and quickly. We're going to repeat the sentences and change the keywords and then practice speaking on our own. Then let's get started. Before we begin, this lesson comes directly from my ebook, How to Speak Korean Like a Native. Today, we are going to study Unit 1, which is on pages 12 and 13. In the book, you can study the complete dialogue, listen to the audio, review useful vocabulary, and test yourself. For more information about this book, please check the description or pinned comment below in this video. Alright, then let's take a look at our first unit. First, let's listen to the complete conversation. You don't need to repeat it yet. Just listen and try to understand the situation. First, 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? Excuse me, can I get some water please? The flight attendant says, 네, 가져다 드릴게요. Yes, I'll get that for you. And you said, 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? Could I have an extra blanket, please? And the flight attendant says, 네, 하나 더 가져다 드릴까요? Yes, would you like one more? And you ask, 혹시 볼펜 있나요? Do you have a pen by any chance? And the flight attendant, 네, 빌려드릴까요? Yes. Would you like to borrow one? Great. There are two main patterns in this conversation. The first pattern is used when you directly ask someone to give you something. The second pattern is used when you first ask whether something is available. Let's look at them one by one. Our first core pattern is 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? Let's break it down. First, we have 저기요. 저기요 means excuse me. You can use it when you want to politely get someone's attention. For example, on an airplane, you can say 저기요 to call a flight attendant after 저기요 at the item that you need. For example, 물, water, 담요, blanket, 안대, eye mask. Then add 좀 주실 수 있나요? It means, could you give me some or can I get some please? So the complete pattern is 저기요, noun, 좀 주실 수 있나요? Now, listen and repeat after me. 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? One more time. 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? Good. Now, let's try the next example. 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? Here, 더 means more or another. So, 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? means, could I have an extra blanket, please? Repeat after me. 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? Great. One important point is the word 좀. 좀 can literally mean a little, but in this sentence, it makes the request sound softer and more polite. So you don't need to translate 좀 word for word here. Just remember the complete expression, noun 좀 주실 수 있나요? Now let's look at the second core pattern. 혹시 볼펜 있나요? This means, do you have a pen by any chance? First, we have 혹시. 혹시 means by any chance. It makes your question sound softer and less dialect. After 혹시, add the item you are looking for. Then add 있나요? 있나요 means, do you have it or is it available? So the complete pattern is 혹시 noun 있나요? Let's practice. 혹시 볼펜 있나요? One more time. 혹시 볼펜 있나요? Good. Now let's change the noun. 혹시 담요 있나요? Do you have a blanket by any chance? Repeat after me. 혹시 담요 있나요? Excellent. The difference between our two patterns is simple. Use noun 좀 주실 수 있나요? When you want to directly request something, and use 혹시 noun 있나요? When you want to ask whether something is available first. Now, let's learn some useful items that you might need on an airplane. Listen and repeat after me. 물, water. 담요, blanket. 베개, pillow. 이어폰, earphones. 안대, eye mask. 귀마개, earplugs. 볼펜, pen. You don't need to memorize every word immediately. Choose 2 or 3 items that you are most likely to use and practice them with today's sentence patterns. Now, let's look at some common responses from the flight attendant. The first response is 네, 가져다 드릴게요. This means, yes, I will get that for you. 가져다 드릴게요 is a polite way to say that the speaker will bring something for you. The second response is 네, 하나 더 가져다 드릴까요? This means, would you like me to bring you one more? And the third response is 네, 빌려 드릴까요? This means, would you like to borrow one? You don't need to produce all of those responses yourself yet, but it's important to recognize them so that you can understand what the flight attendant says to you. The airplane is actually a great place to practice polite Korean. You only need one simple sentence and smile and speak clearly and keep it simple. Now it's time to practice speaking. Please answer out loud even if you're watching this video alone. First, repeat the 3 main sentences after me. 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? 혹시 볼펜 있나요? Great! Now we're going to change the noun. I'll give you an item and you make a complete sentence. First, coffee. Coffee. How would you ask for coffee? 저기요, 커피 좀 주실 수 있나요? Great. Next, 안대. Eye mask. 저기요, 안대 좀 주실 수 있나요? Next, earphone, earphones. 저기요, 안대 좀 주실 수 있나요? Now, let's ask for an extra pillow. 베개. 베개 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? Great! Finally, ask whether they have earplugs. 귀마개, earplugs. 혹시 귀마개 있나요? Excellent. Now let's do a mini role play. You're the passenger and I'm the flight attendant. First, ask me for an eye mask. 네, 가져다 드릴게요. Now ask me if I have a pen. 네, 빌려드릴까요? Great! Now it's time for our check challenge. I'll show you an English sentence. Try to say it in Korean within 3 seconds. Number 1. Excuse me, can I get some water, please? 저기요, 물 좀 주실 수 있나요? Number 2. Could I have an extra blanket, please? 담요 좀 더 주실 수 있나요? Number 3. Do you have a pen by any chance? 혹시 볼펜 있나요? How did you do? Let's review today's 3 important expressions. 저기요 means excuse me. 혹시 means by any chance. And 좀 makes your request sound softer and more polite. For your mini homework, first, say 3 sentences out loud. Second, make 2 new sentences using different items. And third, write 1 Korean sentence in the comments below. Okay, for example, 저기요, 커피 좀 주실 수 있나요? I'd love to see the sentence that you create. In the next unit, we'll learn how to choose an in-flight beverage in Korean. So today we practiced how to politely ask for what you need on an airplane. This was just one unit from my ebook, How to Speak Korean Like a Native. The book includes 100 practical Korean situations with useful dialogues, audio, vocabulary, and speaking practice. You can use it to study real Korean expressions that you can actually use in everyday life. For more information about the full ebook, please check the description or the pinned comment below this video. And don't forget to leave 1 sentence from today's lesson in the comments, okay? And thank you so much for studying Korean with me today. I'll see you in the next lesson. 안녕!